Hey guys, Gary here with Angelique. It's March the 16th, 2012, and I especially wanted to have my kitty Angelique here because of the connection with the subject of this video. Um, this morning when I got up, my message wall on Facebook, my email, was loaded with messages about my impression of the just released Dark Shadows trailer for the upcoming Tim Burton Johnny Depp movie, and so I want to just talk about that briefly. And I just I don't even know where to begin. Um, it was just my reaction is, "Are you leaving us? Are you leaving us? You don't want to participate?" But Angelique was named Angelique after the part that Laura Parker played on the original television show of Dark Shadows, The Witch Angelique. So, she does not want to participate in this video, so we'll let her go back to her bed. But, sweetheart, there you go. But in a nutshell, I was quite disappointed, to say the least. If you've seen the video, and you're familiar with the original legendary daytime television show that ran from 66 to 1971. The first minute or so looks like they are attempting an actual true version of the show. It has a wonderful gothic look about it. The sets look fantastic. The photography is wonderful. The mood seems right. No movie is ever or modern television version is ever going to be the original show. And I know that. I was never expecting it to be. But then, about halfway through the trailer, whenever the character of Barnabas arrives in the modern world, modern 1972 circa, which is a year after the show went off, it turns goofy or something. It's obviously looks like a parody, a sort of goofy parody rather than actually Dark Shadows. And I cannot tell you what a bad mood that I was in yesterday after finally seeing this video. Just downright morose, actually. And, just very disappointed. I don't think I've been this disappointed in the adaptation of something I've loved so bad since about 10 years ago when the movie version of my friend Anne Rice's great book, great novel, Queen of the Damned, was released, and that was just, it's awful. But, since then, I was talking with my best friend about it last night, and I'm a little bit more philosophical, I guess you would say. If you have never seen the original show of Dark Shadows, if it's just something, and this is 40 years later, so a lot of people, maybe they've heard of Dark Shadows, they're aware Dark Shadows was some kind of a cult show, it was kind of different, gothic show from the 60s. You're probably going to be fine with this movie. It's going to be a sort of vampire gothic-y parody comedy along the lines of perhaps Mel Brooks's what was it, Dead and Loving It, that came out in the 90s, which was fine. My problem with parody or a comedy version of Dark Shadows, which is what the film looks like, and we don't know the whole story, from the trailer, but you can kind of see what they're doing with it, which is what I feared, it being Tim Burton. But Dark Shadows is the reputation of Dark Shadow. We can't speak of it the way we would speak of, Hamlet, where everybody in the world, has a sense and a good idea of what we're talking about. A lot of people don't know what Dark Shadows is. They barely heard of it. And it does seem like the first reaction is very split with those of us who ran home from school to watching it. and I did run home faster than anybody. Um, well, we're disappointed, and I think understandably so. Newer, younger audiences who've barely seen the original show or not familiar with it at all can watch the movie in an entirely different way, and that's fine. So, what can I say? Um, we'll hope that it's not quite as bad as what it looks like. Though, you know, I've felt really like a bit of a deflated balloon the past 24 hours. But, you know, we will always have the original show. We will always have our love for that show. Nothing will ever disturb that. It was, to me, it was the greatest TV show of all time. And so, maybe someday, perhaps there will be a newer version, a mini series or a regular series on television that will be more true to the dark spirit of the show, which to me is always something like the character of it was someplace between, um, like Wuthering Heights and Dracula. If you can imagine that. If you're familiar with the show, you know what I'm talking about. But long live Dark Shadows, and at least people are talking about it, I guess. And maybe when the movie comes out, second week of May, just under 2 months from now, it won't be quite as dreadful as I fear. So, share your thoughts with me. In the comments, let me know what you think about it and what your feelings and impressions are. And thanks a lot.